Hey, what's up, everybody out there in YouTube land, friends and family, the Red Cup Review. You know it's your host, Rob Banks, and you're watching me break down the Mezco 112 scale collectible Magneto figure. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, drop a comment. Let's get on with the show. As always, we're starting with the action figure overview, and you can see in the upper right-hand corner of your screen, this episode is brought to you by the Collector's Zone Cantina, right? Go find them on Facebook. Cool group, nice guys over there, and it's not just an action figure, a place to buy action figures. It's actually a community where you can post up pictures and stuff like that. You get good deals. They got rewards codes and points and stuff like that. Go check them out. It's where I got my Magneto and where you can get yours as well. Magneto comes with 4 pairs of hands. You got the 2 heads. You got this gun break apart accessory thingy over here. We're going to take a quick look at that a little later on in the video. And you got some wires in his capes. However, the one glaring exception that did not come with this figure, and that's the empty Magneto helmet. And that really brings it down a notch for me because it kind of like, if you're going to have Magneto, you know, with the head out over here, you need him to be holding or at least have his helmet. Now, I was looking through my action figure box of fodder and I found this. This is the Magneto helmet that came with the first edition Marvel Legends figure, right? This does not obviously come with this figure, but it's a dope accessory if you wanted to have it added on. So if you want to find it on maybe eBay or something like that, or go through your box of old school action figures, you might be able to use this because look, it pairs up pretty well, and look at that, right? It's actually the correct size. So you could use this as your empty Magneto helmet if you happen to have it laying around. Otherwise, go and catch it online. Let's take a closer look at the portraits and get this thing on the road. First portrait we're taking a look at is old Buckethead here, right? He looks good. He's got a nice clean look to his helmet. It could have used a smidge, and I mean ever so slight, black wash around the top over here, which would have brought the sculpt out a little bit more, but it's nice. It's got the little Mezco lines going in there to kind of jazz it up a little bit so it's not just a flat color. Or flat sculpt rather, and that's done pretty well. He's got nice paint around his eyebrows, and they don't bleed. He's got beautiful, beautiful eyes, and he's got a nice face inside there, right? He's got that snarl, the "you humans and your guns" look. Now I want to show you guys this. This is where the figure kind of gets a little bit of a miss. In the inside of this head sculpt, right, you have, see how the face attaches in there? Now I've seen somebody heat this up online and pop this piece out because, you know, try to flare that out for you. It's not, it's attached in there, but you could probably peel this out if you really superheat it, and I don't know if you want to, like, risk breaking your figure and all that. But what this figure should have came with, right, was replaceable faceplates, right? So forget giving us head sculpts. You should have been able to snap this in here and had at least like a yelling face or a screaming face, maybe with the whited out eyes. That really would have added options and variability to the figures. I noticed people online are saying stuff like that when it comes to like the Batman figure, replacing the mouthpieces and stuff like that. And it definitely could have used that here. That's being a little bit nitpicky though, considering he doesn't come with that extra yelling piece with the whited out eyes. To me, that's a little bit of a miss. I think this figure was originally supposed to come with 4 different head sculpts, but you know what? It is what it is. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. However, fuck it, I'm getting upset. All right, here's the secondary head sculpt, right? And this one is my more favorite of the two, even though it's not, you know, Magneto, you think of Magneto, you think of him with his helmet on. Although the black wash in the hair on this is done extremely well. It's not just flat white or gray. It's like a gray highlighted with white, which is pretty nice. The sculpt on the hair is absolutely excellent. I totally like it. I love the layers, right? You see how the first layer, second layer, third, and then you get the top layer there, right? I love that the idea that the hair is put on in layers. It gives it a more natural flowing look. And the actual face paint itself is done very nicely. Although it is a little bit more flat in the tone of the way Cyclops was. It's not as bland as Cyclops' was, but it still doesn't necessarily photograph really well. When you look at it in person, around the eyes and around like the nose area, like in the pits of the face and around his eyebrows where it furrows, is a lot more detail when you see it in person. When you're looking at it through pictures, especially when you have the lights coming in from different angles. Remember, in order to get the 4K quality for you guys, I got to put the lights on this friggin' thing. It kind of drowns out, even when you take pictures. I'm not a professional photographer, so I'm sure there's a way around this. It kind of takes away some of those details. There is a nice amount of detail in the furrowing of his brow. I don't know where the hell my pen went. There it is. So in person, there's a nice amount of detail right over here and right in the middle of his headpiece there. I'm going to try to rotate it to give you guys, see if you guys can pick up on that. You're not really seeing it. I'm not seeing it through the camera. There you go. You can kind of see it right there. It's a really, really nice head sculpt. It's nice. It works well. I'm glad that they didn't necessarily go with the mullet version of Magneto. I'm happy with it. This is what I'm going with in my display. Here's a size comparison shot. As you guys know, I keep my Mezcos with my Mezcos, and if you're that type of collector, this is for you. So you got Magneto and Cyclops being around the same height. There you guys go. Pretty much exactly the same. Now, Magneto, you might not see how much taller he is than Wolverine here, is actually much, much taller. He's about a half a head taller. So that's pretty good. It works. I mean, Wolverine technically should be around his shoulder area, but there's only so many bucks and things like that that they can have in action figure making, right? So, right, these things, the tooling on these things cost. Now, we're going to put Magneto over here, and until they come out with a newer version of this figure, I'm going to put him next to the Marvel Select Juggernaut, which is my favorite version of Juggernaut, right? Let's try and move him back, give you guys an idea of just how much bigger Juggernaut is than Magneto. And I think he looks good. I think he fits in well with him. We got pictures at the end of the video. They're going to show you guys, the two of these guys together, and Magneto around the other X-Men and stuff like that, so make sure to tune in for that. All right, it's time to actually break this figure down. We're going to be taking a look at his costume, how cool it is, and his articulation. Now, let's start with the articulation. Here it goes. The head goes up pretty high, which is nice. The reason why they didn't give him the mullet version of him, good choice. The head goes down really far, moves side to side all around there on that ball joint, and it actually has the joint down here in the neck, so you don't have to worry about it just being one piece. He has the double jointed elbows. They go up perfectly high that way. There's no butterfly joint in the shoulder, but you can have him, you can't really have him cross his arms. Get his arm across his body about that far. You got the articulation in the shoulder bicep joint there. The hands rotate around normally. As far as the ab crunch goes, he goes back really far, and he crunches forward pretty good. His side to side range is good enough, right? It works well. You got the side pivot in here and one right underneath the chest there. The legs have the thigh cuts. He's got the double knees, right, that go all the way back, right, in case you wanted to have him, you know, I don't know, fly like that with like maybe one leg up, right? And as far as the ankle pivots go, the ankle articulation is good but not great. It goes out pretty far, nice, and when it comes in, let's see if we can really get this thing down into a deeper pose. He's not going to be doing deep poses. You know, his feet will stay relatively on the ground, but you're not going to get super deep poses out of him. Now, as far as the outfit itself goes, the boots are really nice and shiny, right? There is absolutely no black wash on them, or this is like a clean, you know, regal version of Magneto. He's got minimal Mezco-isms, we'll call them, up over here. I like how they took these lines, right, the lines in the costume, and added them in ways where they're out of the way of articulation, right? So you ain't going to have to worry about when you're bending the knee on the spandex pants, ruining the line, you know, and it, when you put it back to normal, it's not going to bunch up or get like kind of peeled off and stuff like that. And the same way for over here under the arm area and where his elbow meets. See how there's none of this, like, whatever the hell this screening technology is that they put on the figures, it's not going down this way. So you're not going to have to worry about that stretching out over time. As far as the arms going up, they go up pretty far. I wouldn't push it more than that. I'm sure you can get it higher than that. Rotate down. Mine's a little stiff, right? You get them down like that. Now, getting on to the cape. One molded piece of plastic here. The cape has one wire running down the side here and one wire running down the side here. There's no wire on the bottom. That's a huge miss for me, because if you wanted to have it flowing in the wind, you're going to have to kind of put one up that way, one up like that way, right? And then you have this drooping here, so you're going to have to take that and kind of fold it over that way. So when you look at it, see, you're really going to have to work it and kind of, there's a way to get it. I do it in the pictures, but you really got to work on it, and I'm kind of trying to not have you guys sit here and watch me mess with this for that long. The belt can ride up, so you got to push it down after you're done posing it. Now, here's what we seen online, right? He had, you know, the camel toe. There's a way to get the camel toe back, not that you'd want to, by maneuvering, rubbing my hands over this guy's crotch here. You see how when you maneuver it, it changes things, and when you put it together, you can kind of get that, but you don't want that, right? So you're going to have to kind of maneuver it around. Now, when you maneuver it around to get out of that, you wind up getting it on one side. You get the bulge. So no matter what you're doing, Mezco gives you the bulge, right? So they went from giving you camel toe Magneto to, I want to show my my thing to the world Magneto, right? Whatever. Anyways, he's nice, guys. He's really nice. He's not a perfect Magneto. He's definitely not going to be figure of the year. But with a little bit of work, just like with all the other figures. He looks dope as hell. We're going to start the accessory session off a little bit different section than we normally do. You have like this magnetic effect, this like silly gimmick he comes with. I don't personally like it, but bam, there you go. It's a good magnet. It holds really well actually. And I just don't know anybody that's going to have paper clips or things that are magnetic stuck to his hands. I'd rather have the extra head sculpts than stupid shit like this and light up features and things like that. But they do work. And to give you guys an idea of what it looks like on the other side, see it's an actual one attached piece. It's his actually hand attached to it. It's a whole nother wrist peg thing. And it's got a nice little design on the back side there, right? In the front, same thing. So each hand comes with one. I just think it's a complete waste. He comes with this other accessory here, which is nicer. I think this one's a little bit more cooler. I like what they were going for with the whole magnetic effect of the gun breaking up. You got little bullets in there. And again, it's more of a funnel piece, and it attaches to that would be his left hand, right? So you can have him kind of holding it out, taking the gun apart. That's pretty cool. Obviously, the other head, now his hands. He comes with two of these, which are the wide open hands. And you can see there's grips and there's sculpt on the inside of the hand there. And on the other side, you get a little bit more of a glossy finish, which is pretty cool, right? The hands are nice. Again, that's it. He comes with the two different fists. And this is what I wanted to show you guys here. Let's get him back up. Let's go to Waiter Magneto, right? And you can grab that Marvel Legends helmet I was telling you guys about. And you can kind of like have him posed with him holding it up, or you pose it the right way, and you can have him holding his helmet up and do that whole Darth Vader mythos statue thing where he's like looking at the helmet and kind of you can do like a contemplation type pose, right? Or those clips that they use to hold on the capes, right? On the older Mezco figures. For right now, I'm going to show you the idea with this thing. You could plop the helmet on here and kind of have it floating behind him. But if you actually had those articulated wire things, you could probably clip it onto the back of the helmet. I'm not going to break it out. That shit's buried in my closet somewhere right now. And you could kind of have it like floating behind him. Or if you had him like standing up on this, you could attach the clip onto this and then have it like the helmet kind of floating next to him, which I think would be pretty cool. And that would make for a cool little effect and a cool little display. I'm probably going to try that. Maybe I'll post it up on the official Red Cup Review, the Rebellion page to show you guys how that looks. You guys should go and join that Facebook page anyway. That's where you guys can catch up with the weekly adventures of me and the rest of my crew, and it's a nice family over there, and we kind of like hang out and show pictures of our collections and stuff. That's Red Cup Review, the Rebellion on Facebook. Thanks everybody for tuning in to this edition of the Red Cup Review, and if you haven't already, hit that like button, drop a comment. It's always nice to hear from the people out there in YouTube land, and of course, subscribe. Magneto's getting 3.75 cups from here from the Red Cup Review, which is only 1.25 cups less than normal because of his accessories and the wires in the cape that don't go across the bottom, and the extra wires that go over his shoulders really give you articulation problems when you're really trying to get that cape flowing, even though it's an improvement over their other capes. How does Magneto not come with an empty helmet? Also, the rest of the accessories are kind of useless in my opinion, with the exception of the gun break apart thingy. I'm probably not using them at all. He also needs to come with other head sculpts, or at least the removable face plates that I had stated earlier. Other than that, he's regal, he's dope, he's a must-have if you're an X-Men figure guy. He looks really awesome. So again, if you're not going to use those accessories much, I think he's a must-have. You got to put him in your collection, and hopefully this review has shown you how awesome he possibly could be. Take care, everybody. We'll see you on a future episode.